Namaste. I am Dr. Lavina, an MD Medicine by degree, a serving IPS officer by profession, and a dreamer and writer by passion. It feels just like yesterday I was here as a physician, seeing patients in the OPD, interacting with so many familiar faces that I see today. And it gives me immense pleasure to be back to this institution, although in a different capacity, as the Deputy Commissioner of Police of the city. Today I will be sharing my journey from the white coat to khaki, through my experiences in the medical field, again back to being a student and aspirant of civil services, the experiences in my training at the National Police Academy, and the experiences that I have come across in the field. As a doctor, my profession was highly satisfying. The opportunity I got to understand these small issues that people face when it comes to health, the profession gave me a lot of insight into the minds of the society, how people deal with their own issues, how they manage despite difficult circumstances. And also, it helped me understand the psyche of people. And all these experiences helped me develop an empathy towards people and their issues. And that itself founded the paving blocks for me to venture into services. As many of us would have experienced in the medical fraternity, often we come across certain examples, incidents, where we find ourselves helpless. To quote one such example, I remember a young female mother, 27-year-old, a patient of snake bite. She was on ventilator fighting for almost 2 months. Her doting father never gave up for those 2 months. But suddenly one day the father comes up and says that he wants to take discharge against medical advice. And this was very, very saddening and surprising at the same time. Despite all the government schemes, free medical treatment, all the help and support that we as a fraternity extended, there was something that was still there that the father could not continue the treatment and he gave up on. Many such examples have come up during that experience, and that made me feel that there was something I wanted to do beyond medicine, to be able to address to these issues like social compulsions, the hierarchy, patriarchal mindsets, economic constraints, financial issues, religious beliefs, regional biases, some traditions, some customs, all these that form a major part of the society and impact health and life of the people. And services, I felt, was my way of doing something more for the society. And much to the contrary belief that people feel that medicine and policing are two diametrically opposite professions, for me I felt quite similar, both the professions. Because one, we do not have, we have very unpredictable long working hours in both. Holidays and vacations are pretty alien to us, more so now in policing. And both serve the society in their different ways. One is trying to weed out the ill health from the body, whereas we are trying to weed out the evil from the society, the crime from the society. But what is integral to both the professions is that people come to us when they are at their worst, when they are at the most vulnerable self, in dire need of help. And the opportunity and ability to help somebody in that point of time, I think that makes the profession worthwhile, the entire struggle worthwhile, and helps one get satisfaction from whatever we do. So having experienced these, I decided to take the plunge of switching from this profession, to be able to get a wider platform and create a more positive impact in the society and reach to a more larger number of people through the medium of services. And hence I decided that I will take this lesser conventional path of appearing for UPSC and trying to appear for that. That is how my journey started. Now, the decision was made, but the journey wasn't easy. For once, I'm fortunate that my family has always prioritized academics, and so they always encouraged to study more. But to most of the people around me, leaving a very well-established, noble profession and wasting time, as if often people thought, into an exam which was so unpredictable. 11 lakh people each year appear for this exam, out of which 1,000 make it to the top list. There are 3 stages of this exam, each at an interval of 3 months. So by the end of 1 year, you only complete giving the exam. And if at any one stage you fail, you repeat the cycle again. So it takes average 2.5 years to appear once for this exam. And hence a lot of people thought that this is just a waste of time and I'm being very foolish to make this decision. A lot of well-wishers and people known had also a lot of judgment calls to make. And that added to the whole emotional dilemma that I was going at that time when I started preparing. Because like my peers, most often people after medicine would either do a super specialty, pursue further academics. 1/3 of people will probably take up a good job or either start their own private clinics. And the other third would settle down. And like our society, you are not settled until you are settled. So that itself was also a priority for most of the peers. And here I was, doing neither of these. I was stuck, stagnant, trying to figure out in my books how to move forward, and not following 3 paths that are normally taken after having gotten a degree. And to add to the woes, what was also more difficult was to get back to books. After having studied so much and taking a break from it, which I was very thankful for, I had to again get back to 12 to 14 hours of study every day for a good 2 years, and a monotonous, rigorous, disciplined schedule. No outings, no social gatherings, no friends, no family vacations, no outlets. Not because they are barred, but it is just that you want to economize all the time that you have and give it to this one exam and try to make it. And with all that, a lot of frustration, tension, doubts kept creeping in and creeping out. But I feel what went and kept me going was a dream. A dream that I had decided I want to be a civil servant. And that helped in getting self-motivation, which led to self-discipline, and then all the sacrifices came in naturally. Like I would say, there is a quote, if the mind can conceive it, and if your heart can believe it, then you can achieve it. So this quote helped me move forward. And finally, with all the hard work and a lot of luck, I cleared the UPSC exam and got Indian Police Service in the year 2017. I was very elated at having qualified and taken the service, but the happiness was a little short-lived, because now like the hardcore training of National Police Academy that I was not I had not imagined in my squad. I have been a person of academics. My hobbies have been towards the art side. Reading, writing, poetry, drawing, painting, occasional badminton, table tennis, some gymming, like a lot of us go, which is just casual, fun exercise. Now, when I look back, I can say. And here I was in this National Police Academy, a great institute which lays the foundation and institutional values which are so relevant, and they form a guiding light in our careers and in the field today and in the future. But the day one started, and then onwards each day meant waking up and reporting at 5 a.m. at the PT ground every day. 6 to 7 hours of physical exercise. in a wide range of activities, from long distance running to 16-kilometer running, weapon training, fire training, combat exercises, obstacle exercises, our jungle warfare training, a lot of experiences of cliff diving, even rock climbing, and these examples which most of us, some of us must have done it as a recreation. But here we had to do it in a timed manner, and we had exams for it, and we had to pass those exams. Apart from this, we also had a very rigorous indoor schedule where we were taught law and all legal subjects. And right into 1 month into my training, I started having shin fractures, multiple shin fractures in both my legs. So much so that every day when I would get up, there would be excruciating pain in the legs, and still you have to report to the field. As the day goes by, the pain only starts increasing. Sometimes you even wonder what if it leads to a very severe fracture and the training has to stop midway, and you repeat it the next year. And yet, every day, one does report, one does take an effort to improve, and I found myself doing this day in and day out. And gradually during this training, I realized that the only walls that we make are the walls that we build ourselves. What we can achieve as a person is limitless. What we find ourselves achieving is about the limits that we have created around us. And it is not the physical challenge which was the challenge. It is more a mental challenge. And once you have conquered your fears in the mind, then there is everything that you can achieve and take towards your goal. So with all the effort and every day improving, finally I passed with flying colors, the training, which for me was a challenge because I have never done that before. And I would also say that not only did I pass, in the 40-kilometer route march, that was our final exam, where we are supposed to carry a 5 kg rifle load and a 10 kg bag and go 40 kilometers, and clocked an excellent time. Coming from a background of no physical or very less recreational physical activity background, I managed this, and this to me was an achievement for myself. So with a lot of examples and very nice faculty and friends that we created in the academy, the foundation that it laid was that in the academy, men and women, female and male probationers, are treated at an equal footing. Both have to do the same activities, and the criteria for passing are also almost the same for both. And after this, and having undergone so many challenges and training experiences, what it instills, and it has managed to instill in me, is the confidence that despite adversity, I will be able to deliver my duty in all difficult circumstances. And having experienced this when we come to the field, the first encounter, as so many of my colleagues have famously mentioned, we hear the word Madam Sir, especially female officers. So it is quite contrast to what one has learned in the academy. On field, there are various experiences that we encounter each day. One day could be a law and order issue. The other could be a long bandobast, which means 10 to 12 hours of standing. The third day would be probably a heinous crime, a murder, or a crime that questions the morality of the society. Sometimes technological challenges in terms of new cyber theft and cyber crimes that we see today. And thus, each day there is a different challenge. Each day there is a different learning. And each day I feel, as a person, I am evolving. And through these experiences, I can only say that so far the service has been very demanding, but at the same time very fulfilling. Because the opportunity it has provided to be able to help somebody is immense. And that itself makes all the journey and the struggle worthwhile. I humbly feel that the experiences that I have shared from my journey and the learnings that I have learned shall be relevant to anybody who has a dream or a goal in life, to anybody who wishes to switch or transition to a different goal in life. And hence I would like to summarize a few key takeaways that I have followed and also that I firmly believe in, that has helped me in my journey. The first and foremost is that we must dare to dream. Always have a dream. The dream, the ability to dream is foremost for any success. And the dream need not be limited by age, by your background, by circumstances, or any time limit, or any social compulsions. Dream can be anything, anywhere, and at any point of time. The second, I would say, is that having had a dream, what is most important to success are the 3 P's. Perseverance, that is hard work, that is incessantly put in your 100%. Burn that midnight oil and give it all that you have to your own dream. Then it is persistence. That is despite the challenges, despite your own limitations, you keep pushing yourself and never quit, never give up. And thirdly and most important is have the patience to wait for your results. These days we often look for instant results and instant gratification, but that is not how your dreams and success works. So we must have the patience to wait for our efforts to reap its results. And let me share with you the fact that many times we come across such stories of achievers, of great successful people who may seem, to us it may seem that they have had it easy, that they did not take that kind of effort or struggle, or that perhaps they were born geniuses. Let me tell you friends, nobody is born genius and there is no shortcut to hard work. Everybody has put in the hard work, and every success story has a struggle story. The struggle may vary. For some, it may be family compulsions, for some, financial constraint, social background, or your own mindset, your own limitations, or doubts. But there is no successful person who has not undergone a struggle and done hard work. And here I would like to share a quote with you, which is my own quote, that no one is worth giving up your dreams for. And if he or she is, he wouldn't ever want you to give up. If the person, and here the person could be anybody, it could be your friends, family, your relationship partner, your peers, your faculties, your teachers, gurus, but if anybody means to you as much, worth giving up your dreams, then that person will value your dreams just as much. And sooner or later, he or she will fall into place and support your dreams when they see your hard work and dedication. Hence, one must not be carried away or depressed by the fact that people around are not supporting your cause. If you put in that hard work with your true heart and dedication, everybody falls in place. As the famous Bollywood quote is, and here I would like to add a twist to it, that अगर किसी चीज को सच्चे दिल से चाहो और मेहनत करो, अगर किसी चीज को सच्चे दिल से चाहो और मेहनत करो, तो पूरी कायनात आपको उससे जुड़ाने में मिल जाती है. That is, that if you truly desire something with all your heart and work hard for it, the entire universe will conspire to make you achieve. Thus, I would like to conclude by saying that keep dreaming, just as I feel I will dream a different dream each day. Believe in your dreams, and as far as my journey is, there are promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thank you. Thank you, NHL College and TED, and my dear friends, for giving opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind.